Master Jesus, you are the pillar that holds. You are the pillar. You are the pillar that holds my life. I said, Jesus, unibu kalabati sinduwe. Nibu kalabati sinduwe. Ojo biebe, nibu kalabao. Nibu kalabano. Nibu kalabati sinduwe. Ojo biobi ko nibu kalaba. Chika nibe nibu kalaba mo. Nibu kalaba sinduwe.
All right. Thank you very much, my people. We're back now. Black Panther, you're on the backstage. Mr. Alex, okay, you're on the backstage as well. Okay. Yes, my people, it's good to be back here now. On this particular broadcast is weekend. It's 2 hours and they listen to now, but I will not moderate for anybody. I beg. I'm not gonna manage on myself, but I'm listening. Nobody should break the rules, as you all already know. So let's follow the rules, the K word, the W words, and all that. Please, let's take them out. No encouraging of tribalism. No, please. And my Igbo people, my lovely Igbo people, I want to apologize on the behalf of Engineer Ken. I believe Engineer Ken will apologize tomorrow. I'm not saying a weekend now. Maybe my senior brother, he does do 1 or 2 things now. I never know. But one thing that some of you that is just joining us, if you're a new subscriber, Engineer Ken has been on this struggle with us for years. Not today. Before Mr. Peter Obi's movement has been with us. So for things like this to happen, he even shocked CM himself. He shocked everybody. Just yesterday here, Oga CM was asking of Engineer Ken, where is Engineer Ken? Where's Engineer Ken? I bet me tell us I miss him. Just yesterday, yeah. So yeah, please. We shouldn't be quick to cut people off. Yeah. Thank you very much, my people.
Yes, and I would like to apologize on behalf of my respected elder brother, Engineer Ken.
Yeah, that's why I just did. Yeah.
Yes, I'm doing that on my own too.
Oh,
he's my respected senior brother, and I want to say that it's weekend. People can do things and. No,
Alex, what do you mean is weekend? What are you trying to say now?
I cannot say more. He's my respected elder brother. I've known him since 1970 something. So he's my respected elder brother.
No, but what are you trying to say is weekend?
If even you as my respected elder brother or as my respected brother, Peter will be the battle of us. So we are not respecting everybody.
Stop playing politics there. What is the weekend where you Yan and Namo?
It's weekend. People may be on fasting. People may be on Bible marathon or something.
People may be on.
Alex, come clean, Alex. I don't know you for speaking in tongues. Come clean. Which will be fast.
People, when you are addressing elder statesmen like my Engineer Ken, is a respected senior brother to me. I can't say much.
You say fast.
Yes, probably he's on a fasting marathon.
No, but why?
You know, say now our elder statement.
Okay, weekend. It's weekend. A lot of things happen in weekend. People go to church like Seventh-day Adventists.
Alex, go rest.
I can put my life on the line. Gina Ken is hearing all of us right now. I know him very well.
You are still suffering from the cactus of long driving.
I just want peace to reign for now.
Engineer Ken,
he's watching.
He has been with us. Mr. CN, you are my respected doctor, so I cannot argue with you. You are right.
Enter house. The thing is, normally this Tinubu regime, probably all these things they want to do some populist something, but they are not thought out. One, I do not see why he has what he has to do with Asari Dokubo, or probably Asari went, whether they are all falling over themselves, looking for contract. And you see, this government of the crooks, that is what is taking place now. I've said it before.
CM, sorry to cut you. Do you know he specifically told Agbado that he shouldn't release Nnamdi, and he gave him reasons on that meeting. There was a transcript that is out.
Yes, Nigeria was said that here. Nigeria was said that they said should not releasing Nnamdi Kanu.
Normally, when there are certain things you will hear from, let's say somebody like Alex, then you will start to wonder. There are things we know Asari Dokubo now. I mean, this forget this. I mean, somebody at his age, is he not the person that led out to Abuja to go and protest? At his age, he's still doing Agbero the work. What does that tell you? There are things just like a Papa man that came to claim Labour Party chairman who said, when that Papa was saying, I'm in charge. The senior advocates of Nigeria should come and brief me what is happening. I'm now in charge of Labour Party. I think we watched the thing here. So there are things that when you hear it, you just, you take it, you just dismiss it. Asari is nobody now. Forget about it. This is not what it. This is not what. No. I know what I'm saying. No, I know. When the push comes to shove, let's.
Because of
there are
the
things.
Person who is there.
Somebody okay. If it were FFK, if it were Faneka Yode that said it, will you take it serious? Everybody is looking for their own meal ticket. That is what I'm trying to point out. There are things. Somebody that will say something, you take it serious. This is who is Asari Dokubo. So which means Asari is an opinion leader in Nigeria. It is a pipeline card. Maybe he went there to renew his contract of a garden pipeline, all those type of something. This is not what you are saying. Meanwhile, that government is illegitimate. What I'm trying to say, in effect, is this. These are government of the crooks. Because sometimes what is really happening in Nigeria is this. When we want to say we want to move forward, we first of all say, look, if really we want to move forward, how do we do it? Akpabio, how did he come back to the Senate before he became Senate president? You see, the process, something is, you cannot just go, okay, of what use is the process? Go and take form, go and campaign, then if you are voted, then you win. Somebody didn't do all this or whatever, then you just uprooted the person from somewhere back to Senate and making Senate president, and now people are clapping. Shetima is just keeping quiet because something is brewing. You may not know. He has his own crowd of Boko Haram that, and Tinubu is doing his own magic. So these are just, to me, when whatever is panning out of Aso Rock now, you are just looking at this, it's just a brief interlude. Let the tribunal hasten up so that Obi can come and restore hope of the people. All what is happening now is just interlude of criminals in charge. Asari is entering Aso Rock to go and talk. Imagine holding who is he going to tell Tinubu what to do? Don't do the Tinubu. You are telling is Tinubu elected? On whose mandate is he sitting there, or just because of any other thing? So I don't as a person, I don't lose sleep when all those things are happening. If student loan is happening, where is the loan? Where is the money? 77. You see, I expected a serial government would have said Nigeria is owing 77 trillion. How are we gonna go about it? They are still slaughtering people. What is his defense policy? That's what he should have won for, because there are things you will say, people will now say, okay, what is your defense policy now? The way it is, 77 trillion. What are you going to do about it? We are talking of student loan, so that you feel that every obedient is a student, so you can swear them over. We know all these tricks now. It's not gonna work. We know all these things. So all these things are just saying it's just neither there nor here. They're only making noise. They've not scratched the issue. Imagine Asari saying oil theft will stop. So he's the real oil theft. So he now knows who to stop oil theft. Oil theft will stop. As if he occupies any position in Nigeria. You see in government, you see the person that it's like me saying oil theft will stop, or any other person saying oil theft will not stop. After so what power has he got to even stop it? If he knows, what is he doing? So people like a butterfly can never be classed as what is it called? It can never be classed as a bird. you know. So it's a butterfly. It's still an insect. A butterfly remains an insect. Even when it flies on top of a 10-story building, it is still an insect. It's not a bird. So Asari's case, people should just look at it and dump it. It's irrelevant. It's just because a criminal came, therefore he surfaced. Birds of the same feather flock together. Tinubu is going to pay Tinubu. Okay, look at the caliber of people going to see Tinubu. Just take the roll call. I told you that's why Ojikalo was crying, because this is his opportunity to be part of the government of the crooks. He missed it, so that's why he cried. So when you see people going to Asoro, the real human being, you can't see them then. Everybody's waiting for B to come on board. Then things. I mean, the people will rejoice, and then we know we started. Let me yield for others to say something, please, gentlemen. You know, so.
All right,
Oh,
let's
that's
hear from
yes.
Mr. Louis.
Yeah.
No, let's hear from Mr. Louis, please. Mr. Louis,
Okay.
sir, good evening to
Yeah.
you. It's good to have you on.
Elvis, good evening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining
Good
us.
evening, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
I've been following you guys since almost a week now, and I haven't been able to log in or call in because I was a little bit under the weather, so I was trying to take care of it. But in any case, the last discussion you guys were having about tribalism and all those type of things, one of the things that our people needs to bear in mind is that these people has been doing this divide and conquer for a long time. And they always find a tribe. It's generally common for them to use the Igbo, which is basically nonsense to me, because again, you can literally live anywhere in Nigeria. Like I've said on this line, I was born in Ibadan. I grew up in Ibadan. I went to school in Ibadan. My classmate in Ibadan lived in Abakaliki. I don't know how many of you know where Abakaliki is. That's where he has his house and everything. And he retired from the Nigerian police, you see. And the thing there is we've been friends now for almost 50 years, you see. And we talk about issues that are affecting Nigeria. So if we look at what our so-called leaders are doing, they want us to be talking about tribalism, fighting about tribalism, doing all kinds of things. It's a strategy that is being used worldwide. It's not only in Nigeria. If you look at United States, for example, they use the blacks, they use the Irish, they use the Italians. That's why you have ended up having the Italian mafias. And the Irish has their own group. And they use all kinds of group. But every one of them rose up and said, no, enough is enough. The blacks rose up. I was privileged to be here in the 70s to participate in the civil rights of the 1970s. And people were killed. A lot of blacks were killed. A lot of them were jailed. But it didn't prevent us from keep marching. You see, I was a Nigerian. I wasn't even a US citizen. But I was marching because I knew that everything that affects the Black Americans is going to affect me as a Black man. And when I talk to some of my Black friends in the United States, they look at Nigeria the same way. And they get disappointed when we start doing this petty fight. Igbo and Yoruba and Igbo and all over the whole place. They feel frustrated. A lot of them wants to move to Nigeria because they think Nigeria is the most populated Black country, that if Nigeria gets it right, that the Black people will be on the move. But what is happening is we have these so-called, I call them so-called leaders because they are not. have any other name to call them. But that's what they've been doing. Tinubu campaigned. I was trying to research to get the video. He campaigned and saying that if Obi wins, he's going to move the Apapa War to the east. And I wasn't surprised about that because I've known Tinubu right from his days in Chicago. So any person that thinks Tinubu is a great man, that person needs to have his head re-examined. Because even at Chicago, nobody knows where Tinubu came from. Yes, they know he's a Nigerian. But which state in Nigeria? He said Osun State. Now, most of you on this panel at least know one person you grew up with that you can name. This guy doesn't have anybody he grew up with. So we don't even know whether he's from Osun. And then he bambooed himself into Nadiko. He came into Nadiko because he was one of the guys campaigning for Abiola at that time. He's one of those guys that he takes he takes opportunity and then uses it to his own selfish interest. So when he said Nadiko, so what did he tell us in the campaign? He said, well, my certificates were burned down when Abacha came and burned my house. Well, nobody went and investigated that. Not even our press. They just accepted it as gospel truth. When he was running for Lagos governor, I knew people who fought against him. But again, he is one of those people that think money can buy everything. That's the way he thinks. Money can buy everything. And that's how he operates. In Lagos, he used money to buy everything. He said, oh, I built the Lakey roads and all those things. But he put toll gates on both ends of the place, collecting money that goes directly to his pocket. So we're here arguing about the Lagos state government is telling the Igbos to leave and all kinds of things. These are all part of that distraction. So that when we're busy discussing those things, they'll be busy doing whatever they're doing in Asari. They just have invited Asari Dokubo. I mean, you'll see how low we can go in Nigeria. You see? So these are, we need to focus. I've said it before. We have to major on the major and not on the minor. The major now is to get our mandate. What they are looking at is how to divide the obedience. And they are using everything to do that. And then we'll come here, we start attacking each other. And we think they are not watching it. And I thank Mr. Elvis so much. I pray for him because I know the risk he's taking. That he kept this platform going. And I pray that we don't abuse it. I always tell people, if you don't know anything good to say about somebody, just shut up your mouth. Don't say anything. You don't have to say anything. But I've watched where we're attacking each other, and they are watching it and say, we finally got them to start attacking each other. Now, you can attack a point that somebody made without personally attacking the person. You can say, well, I respectfully disagree with what you said. This is what I think it is. But we need to focus on what the main point is. The main point is we have a case in court. We might say Labour Party, we might say P2B, but the obedience are on the ground. It's okay has been in Nigeria since February. He lives in Atlanta. There's a lot of obedient people in the US that are in Nigeria. Some of them are retired that I know of that are in Nigeria, going to court every single morning that they have a court appearance. And I think what we should be discussing here is what is happening in court, what strategy, some of us might have experience of strategy. We can send it through Niger Watch, my brother Elvis, and he can send it to them. Maybe they didn't look at it. But if we come here and start discussing what this tribe did, what that tribe did, what the other tribe did, remember when Trump got up and said that some of these shit countries, they have to go back to their country. You see how a lot of Americans attacked them, or attacked him at that time. So it's the same thing. A lot of us come here. This is not our country, but we come here. We school, we get a job, we buy a house. Nobody has ever told us to leave that house and go back to our country. If that happens in the United States, some of us will raise hell about it. But it's happening in Nigeria. And these are things we have to condemn, and condemn it seriously, so that at least our people in Nigeria will know that we are not part of it. We're living comfortably here. If you go back and read American history, which I do, I'm a student of history, even though I'm an accountant, I read history. If you look at this country and look at how much of bloodshed that was done in this country to get it up to this level, and they're still doing, trying to get to a perfect union. In Nigeria, it looks like we go one step forward, 100 steps backwards. And the reason is because they want us to be discussing things that are not important to what Nigeria is all about. I don't believe that all the Yorubas in Lagos are telling the Igbos to leave. The ones telling the Igbos to leave are not even from Lagos. Shomolu, that is the governor of Lagos, was convicted in Florida. I live in Florida. We know all about that. He went back to Nigeria, he became a governor. Tinubu was convicted in Chicago. Do we know anything about that? Yes. I was in the US in the 70s, 80s. We followed that case very closely. The Nigerian community didn't come out and defend him. No. We didn't come out and defend him. But now he's the president of Nigeria. Now, what happens if he goes to the United Nations? How are they going to respect him there? If you read some of the world press, I'm talking about written press, they've already started talking about it. Nigeria elected a drug baron as president. That's not a very good headline. And then when you look at them, they accuse those of us here that we are the ones spoiling the name of Nigeria. But they are the ones doing it. So my appeal is, let's focus on the main thing and stop using what seems to divide us, which I don't think divides anybody. It's just our leaders in Nigeria that are using that so that they can keep their loot, they can keep their so-called power, and be doing what they are doing. You notice that they just passed a student loan bill, signed it because Buhari rejected it. Nigeria used to have student loan when I came to the US in the 70s. What you need to do is call the consulate office or the embassy. They will send you the form. You fill it, you send it back to the embassy. The embassy will confirm it, and then send it to Nigeria. The check actually comes directly from the central bank to do that. But now they are going to do a student loan. They are going to rush through it. Why are they doing it? Again, to divide the obedient family. Because they think all obedience are students. But they don't know that there are some households that their parents are obedient. I'm 72 years old. I'm obedient. I've been obedient since day one. And nobody can talk me out of that. So I'm not in college. My kids cannot benefit from that student loan. My youngest kid is about 32 years of age. So it doesn't have anything to do with it. But they think they can use that to divide the obedient. And that's why we have what we have to play against. So that when we're speaking directly to the goals that we want to achieve. And the goal is to recover our mandate. The lawyers are doing an extremely good job because I listen all day. Call Nigeria to find out what's going on in Abuja. You see? And I get updates about what is happening. The lawyers are doing a fantastic job. And everybody in Labour Party is there. What they are telling Obi now is the same thing they told Obi in Anambra State. I was part of it. I knew when Apga deserted him. I knew when Ohaneze deserted him. I knew when even his own hometown deserted him. And he told them, he said, I'm not fighting this because I want to be governor. I'm fighting it because it's time we do the right thing. The problem in Nigeria is we've been doing the wrong thing. And what we do is we clap for that. As soon as that person comes in and tars road, we say, oh my God, he just tarred the road. Function of government is not only tarring roads. In fact, in some places, that's the function of the local government, not even the state. They will clap for them for anything. You see? So we need to focus on that mandate that we're going to get. I believe we're going to get it. And the reason why I believe that is because God does not bless a lie. And he does not bless a thief. Because even the thief, the two thieves on the cross with Jesus Christ, is only one that apologized and asked him to remember him in his kingdom. The other one was busy about a mouth, where God did not bless him. So all the people that have stole our money, all the governors, I mean, just tell me how somebody can carry $40 billion of state money. And then what we say is, oh, at least he tied that road, so at least he's doing some good with it. No, he stole the money. Nobody likes their father to be called a thief or their mother to be called a thief. So what do they do now? They say, well, the person embezzled money, misappropriated money. Now, some of you are from different tribes in Nigeria. Can you translate that in your language? No. The only translation they have in your language is thief. Somebody is a thief. Everybody understands that. So all of them are thieves, stealing money. So let's focus on our main issue, which is recovering that our mandate. And how are we going to go about it? Our principles say, let's follow the law. Because again, they told him to go to court. And I remember when they said that, I was laughing. I said, these people don't know who they are telling to go to court. It's not like telling me. Now they're afraid of coming to court. The one way or the other, they're going to come to court. You see? And I remember somebody asked me if we win in the court, will Tinubu leave? I said, well, first of all, before you put your mat on the ground, first of all, you have to get the mat first. Before you go and get the land first, before you get the mat. You see? So it's first thing first. Let's get the land, and then when he doesn't leave, we figure out a way to get him out of there. But let's get the court order first. Let's get that mandate first. It's becoming clearer by the day with what is happening. So I thank everybody on this line. All of you are doing great. It's not easy coming here every day. And Niger Watch, my brother Elvis, I pray for you every time that God will give you not only strength, but understanding and wisdom so that you can keep carrying us all along. Sometimes we upset you, but that's part of human nature. We don't know everything.
Thank you, sir.
So I thank you very much, and God will continue to bless you and bless.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you too, sir. Thank you. All right. Yes, that was a wonderful submission by Mr. Lewis right there. I would like us to move on to the next person with us. You know, let's go to Oga Black Panther. I think, okay, Black Panther is your turn now. You know, we need to, after Mr. Black Panther, Mr. Chris, then we go back to Niger. No, sorry, Jonathan. Jonathan is with us since, hey, God, Jonathan, don't finish me, sis.
Elvis, I dare too.
No, I don't. In fact, this thing don't mess up since.
You know, go sleep tonight too.
One love. All right. Okay, don't worry. We'll run now. But at this particular moment now, I called on someone just now. Okay, Black Panther, are you there?
Yes, so I'm here.
Okay, Black Panther, please talk to us. After you, I'll go to Mr. Jonathan, then I'll come to Niger before
thank you, Mr. Niger Watch.
Thank you.
All protocol observed. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for a great. And God, Louis, more grace. God will give you long life.
Thank you.
You prosper in this wisdom like never before. And I pray everyone that hear your voice, you know, hold it very tightly because they are speaking from the in-depth of the wisdom God has bestowed upon you. Thank you so much for what you have spoken. Mr. J, good day, sir.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. Yeah. I want to continue on the trajectory on what our elder just said, that we should focus on the crown itself, focus on what is happening, and then keep on speaking positively, because these people want us to derail and bring all those obstructing things like tribalism, nepotism, this and that. Those are just distractions which they've learned for a very long time and they don't want to change it. But we thank God we are born to make a change in our generation and hand over things and hand over it to the next generation. And I want to say something concerning the student loan. And from there, I'll go to other topic. The student loan is just a trick. It's just like they want to keep us busy. And they just wake up one day. It's like one man just wake up one day and say, oh, I want to be giving everybody one bag of gari. But he will not tell you how he's going to do it. But he tell everybody, say, oh, he's a good man, he's a good man. But you don't know the way he got the source of his income. We don't bother to know. That is one problem that Nigeria has. A government will come and walk up to you and say, I want to do this. No explanation, no protocol, nothing. But everybody's clapping his hand. I heard two Nigerians say, oh, that's a good idea, student loan. Student loan with $77 billion debt waiting for the next generation. Student loan is is the main thing that will take us out of the economic problem or the decadence in our educational structure. That's what's going to take us out. Student loan is what's going to make us productive. When thousands of students, our young ones, are out of secondary school, primary school, their parents cannot even afford to take them to the elementary, the basic that you need to be lifted up there. They don't have it. You're coming up with student loan. You don't even know, you don't even have the account of the population, people that lives in your country. You don't have it. And come to talk about the student loan, which of us have gone into the modalities of this student loan. Many of us have not really gone in there to see what they put, the obstacle that was laid down concerning this, how to get into the student loan, whatever they say. I heard some of the spokesperson were saying, even the student loan, they don't even have the resources to even make this function. How can somebody come up and tell us the blatant lie when we know that we don't even have, we borrow money to even fund our budget? Then one person will just wake up and somebody that you don't even know his identity, you don't even know where he come from, you don't even know his educational background. The stark illiterate will come up and walk to you and tell you that he has student loan. Did he go through the Nigerian educational system to see how it is? Did you know how many thousands of our young ones that are out of secondary school, primary school, that their parents could not even afford the basic educational standard they can give to their children before talking about tertiary institution? Even your tertiary institution, go and see. Not talking, you just walk into the tertiary institution of Nigeria and go into their classroom and see the decay of infrastructures that are there. We are talking about student loan of 180,000 naira. What can 180,000 naira give to you as a person? The money that you send home monthly to your folks is more than $500,000 if you want to calculate it monthly. Then somebody will come after destroying what makes the institution that brings in the president of the nation. He has destroyed it and is giving you peanut crumbs from the master table for us to eat. Student loan. That is not our problem. Our problem is more than that. We are facing insecurity. We are facing the decay in our institution, decay in our military, decay in our police force, decay in our ministries. Look at Alex Onyema. Alex Onyema, the man that holds airpiece. After all that he done, this man bought an aircraft, $1 billion naira. $1 billion, sorry. $1 billion. $1 billion. Still, they said he doesn't have the capacity to fly, capacity to handle Air Nigeria, or even handle the route going to London. Now depriving your own fellow compatriot. Something that we employ more than, look, the aviation industry, we employ thousands of Nigerians. That is one big industry that is very massive, equal to the oil sector that we have. And one particular sector, calling themselves politicians, they are depriving Nigerians, an indigene of Nigeria, a citizen of Nigeria that openly said, I invested $1 billion to acquire the latest aircraft so that Nigeria can be respected all over the world. This man flew Nigeria from the days that out of the trouble, warring states. He flew them out with his own money. in India, and he said he went dead 17 times to pick Nigerians. More than 7 trips to pick them from South Africa when they were when they were buying Nigerians. Then our president, the one that they call their selected president, now come up and said it is student loan that will make Nigeria not to look into what happened in the election. Then all of us will close our eyes and look at him. Most of us that are legitimizing this government, that are speaking softly, that are trying to mingle, that are pretending, you will soon open up. The time hasn't come yet. You will open up and we'll see the kind of personality you are. This man has nothing. All the people, why is it that, I want to ask a question. Why is it that a particular section of their cabal is always having the NSA, the DSS, the immigration, the police? We have not asked ourselves that question. Why is it that they handle the security and still we will cry here? Our security structure is not doing, they went on to get an aircraft from America. They went and bought an aircraft they use. I don't know how long they don't use that aircraft to fight anything. They went and bought, everybody started shouting, Nigeria has bought an aircraft, fighter jet, fighter what, propeller engine to fight modern day terrorism. And we are all clapping and, oh, Buhari has bought an aircraft for Nigeria to fight terrorism. Do we know what's called a propeller engine aircraft? That if you fire a bullet into it, it will just drop and it won't move again. It will go blue. And it's not even an high altitude aircraft. It's a very low altitude aircraft that comes low to the ground to do its surveillance. And we are all clapping. They went and struck a deal and embezzled the money in military, and we all are shouting that it gave us. There is nothing that will come out good from a corrupt entity called Tinubu. All of them. Tinubu have started this thing he has started all this corruption when Abiola was contesting for president. I want to ask the question, why is it that the all so-called almighty civil right or human right guys, they are all kept quiet? Everybody kept quiet. Wole Soyinka came out to drag himself in the mud. All these big guys are educated. They came to drag. We've not asked that question. Why? Do you know the answer I will give? They've all eaten from the crumbs from the master table. That is why they cannot speak the truth to power. The entire human rights community in Nigeria have been bought over. They have been bought over. All their cell in the institution, all their cell in every looks and corners of Nigeria, they've all collapsed. They are gone. That is why you cannot see anything. But what the Nigerian youth brought forward, they cannot design, neither can they see nor forecast what the youth are going to do tomorrow. That is why all the distractions are coming. And many of us asked us, somebody called in and said, oh, the youth failed. What the movement that they did in Tollgate failed. I want to ask this question. The demands that they gave the federal government, tell me the demand. Did the government not give them the demand? Then why should we come here and dismantle it and say they failed? Who told you they failed? They blew the trumpet for Obi to come out, for Peter Obi to come up. They blew the trumpet from the mountaintop for Obi to rise up. And when they saw his hand up there, they all followed. Why can't we ask ourselves a question? Why did they now follow massively Obi? That's the fundamental question. If you follow the history, how they came and how they did that rally against SARS and how Obi emerged, you will know that the divine hand has orchestrated it to happen so that Peter Obi can rise up. He knew all, he went through their party, he knew all the secrets. That is why he planned 5 years ahead with a professor. He planned 5 years ahead with a professor. And when he came to the courtroom, they started shaking, panicking. And I must say this one year, that will be as planned for the Supreme Court. All this thing that you're seeing here, this man was destined for this purpose. If you think it's a child's play, if many of us think it's a child's play, we come here, we just flat our mouth, rub it around like egg and butter or butter and bread. If you think that's a child's play, wait for the trumpet from the judiciary. Let them go contrary. Then we'll see the child's play, the rebirth of that child's play that they think it is. It's no longer a joke. The silence of the whole youth community in Nigeria, they are silent. You should not take it for granted. Many are not happy. You are buying a bag of rice for 86,000. You are now changing your naira to dollar for 906. Some of us are saying it's 755. 755 is just the CBN price that they released in the paper. It's 906. 906 for dollar. Your currency has been devalued, and it will continue to get devalued until we realize the evil emanating from the entire region, and the cabal from the north, cabal from the west, south are coming together to make sure that Nigeria sink more and more. That is why we should not come out here to discredit the youth, what they are doing in Nigeria. Many might be doing some things that are contrary, but the multitude of them are focused. There is beauty in our diversity. There is beauty in our tongue. If you refuse to harness it, what happened to Somalia will rise up. And if it will rise up, that will be the end of the so-called Nigeria, and tears of joy will run out of our eyes, because it's not going to be tears of sorrow, it's going to be tears of joy, because they refuse change. But change is inevitable. When change arrives, no man born of a woman can stop it. Thank you, Mr. Nigeria Watch.
Thank you, Black Panther. That time we can talk it longer, but that is a wonderful submission. Thank you. Once everybody don't talk around, yes, you can use that, because we have only 2 hours to take this. All right. Let me move on to Mr. Kingsley. Jonathan Kingsley, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, please talk brief. Don't take it too long. 8 minutes is fine, everybody, so that we can take it round.
Yeah, thank you very much.
After you go to Mr. Tu Niger.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity. I'll make it as brief as possible. Hopefully, let's just, for me, I just want to talk about the one thing about the election. I've heard it a couple of times on this platform. If I'm right, some people saying that the next election will be worse than the one we had in 2023. For me, I want to differ strongly from that position. I believe that it will be difficult to rig election in Nigeria going forward. For one, no one has monopoly to violence. No political party has monopoly to violence. Whichever way they want to bring it on, they will meet their match come next election cycle. Election is not going to be the same again in Nigeria. It's not going to be, rigging as usual again. That game is over. The only thing they will have on their side will be the state law enforcement. They will use the state law enforcement to intimidate, to oppress, but they will meet the people match for match come next election cycle. That's my position on that. And also I want to talk on all these tribal, all these tribal bigots in Lagos. I think it's just the time to talk some sense down their skull, just sink some truth down into their throat. Because let's start from here. We're in a state, Nigeria is not a fair country. It's not a fair state. That's just the truth. Let them create a level playing field. Let the government create a level playing field. Then we will know where all these tribal bigots, all these political thugs and touts in Lagos, we will know how far they will go. I'm from the southwest. I'm a Yoruba man to the core, but let's just say the truth the way it is. That country is not fair. If they create a level playing field, let Nigeria have the seaport in Port Harcourt. Let them create a seaport in Calabar. And then this Lagos they are talking about, we will know where they will be getting that IGR they are talking about. They will see how it will dwindle. That IGR they are talking about in Lagos, where do they think it's coming from? It's just because of disproportionate policies over many decades that they have a seaport in Lagos, which was not even the intention. It was just the colonial people that created that, because it was beneficial to them. It was expedient for them for their slave trade, for the proximity of Lagos to slave markets. That's why they have the seaport in Lagos. If you come to this present dispensation, Lagos will not even be the top, where one of the top location for seaports as far as business is concerned. So let them create that level playing field. Have seaport also in Calabar, have seaport in Port Harcourt, and then we will know who is who then in Nigeria. So all this nonsense they are talking about, they should just go and sit down and know that they are operating in a country that is not fair. And all these people that are coming about saying that you cannot go to the east to do this, you can't go to the east to do that, is simply because the country is not a fair country. It's there's no level playing field. That's just the truth there. And finally, I will talk on this issue of just briefly on this issue of student loan. I've said it before, and because of the importance of this matter, I will repeat it. I will say it again. That this is just another opportunity for them to create another loophole to steal money, and they have so far. They have created this, they are on their way to create this gigantic machinery again to start looting money. That's what this student loan is all about, for me, as far as I know. But at the end of the day, our eyes are on the ball. Our eyes are on the ball. We remain focused to get the mandate back. Thank you very much. Thanks all.
Please, can I quickly say this? Just a follow up to the
Okay,
the
go
last
ahead,
speaker.
say.
The mistake people make is to think that the Yorubas are not tired of Tinubu and his Lagos overlord. That is the mistake they are making. I know some of them, they are, because they've never had Awolowo they look up as a leader was the chap who exposed them to Western education opportunities every time, industrialized their Oluyole Industrial Estate, Bodija Housing Estate, Ikeja Industrial is everywhere. But Tinubu is interested in milking them. So that is why a typical Yoruba man will tell you that Tinubu doesn't represent us. He hasn't got the world view of what they are. It's only Agberu that he just training all over the place. So when during the presidential election and the governorship election, people were voting against it just because of him. It's just because of him. They are complaining because the Lagos is putting into his pocket. It doesn't flow around. Look at the number of touts in Lagos. just sending people. So that is the issue. So that people do not misunderstand it that when they're saying this, it's not the mainstream. When you listen to the people like Ayo Adeban just speak, Dele Farot, where Dele Farot may can say is die in the wood labor also. Or maybe he's complaining, he's campaigning for Labour Party. Just Ayo Adebanjo telling you about Afenifere and what the Yoruba mainstream or Moluabi, what they stand for. You will understand that this man is just like an usurper. He came there to, to steal from his people. The road, that Lekki Bridge, was started by Jakonde. Jakonde built it. He never, or did it the way he did before he left. Tinubu now come and put this thing there and put a toll gate there collecting money. Jakonde was governor of Lagos State. Jakonde built more schools than Tinubu, which we all know. Jakonde revolutionized Lagos State University, so many things he did in Lagos at his time. That's why they call him Baba Kekere. And when you now see somebody with that, by the way, how can Yoruba choose somebody with that certificate as their leader? A people that cherish, that will tell you that they started enjoying free education since 1952, and they will always tell you education, education. How can they, a leader of a Yoruba, Abraham Adesanya is a lawyer, senior advocate of Nigeria. Ajashi was a bachelor's degree holder, principal of a secondary school in the 40s and 50s. Then you talk of Ulufalaye. Ayo Adebanjo is a lawyer. Then who am I going to them? Fashoranti them. How can you now go and mention Tinubu? No, the guy is an aberration from a Ragbiji for that matter. That's what X, what is this man's name? Bode George. Bode George talks about it. He said, look at where school did he attend?
All right, let's
And
hear
people will be
from
looking at him as a leader.
Otunaja
He
Beg.
doesn't, he leads, pardon?
Quick round up in 1 minute so that we can hear from
Okay, yeah.
Tunaja.
So just to support what the last speaker said, all these policies coming out, anti-people politics, policies coming out, it's just purely Tinubu. It doesn't reflect Yoruba mainstream behavior, to be honest with you. That's why sometimes when they say it, I know the way I react to it. I know what it means because the Yorubas are also suffering in Lagos. They are not happy with the way things are. Agbero everywhere, tout, money gets in millions of billions of naira received, all goes into Tinubu's pocket. Is that what they are for? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Tunaja, are you there with us? Okay, Tunaja, you're not even available, Seth. Okay. Let me move on to One Love.
Nigeria don't sleep.
Yes, One Love. I beg, talk to us. It's your time now. Good evening to you, my brother. Okay, One Love, you're not there. Okay. Mr. Chris, good evening to you, sir. Please talk to us.
Um, Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Nigeria Watch. Good evening, everybody in the panel.
Thank you.
Mr. Nigeria Watch, may God continue to bless you for all you do. You know,
Amen.
1,000, a million prayers will never be enough. May God give you the strength and the fortitude to continue doing this great work without unnecessary distractions from left, right, and center. Thank everybody in the comment section that have kept this platform active. Also, thank everybody that have been contributing since to every discussion that has been going on. Yeah, I greet everybody. Well, I know the issue has been severally dealt with from different angles, but I think I still have to lend my voice to it because in doing good, it can never be too much. Now, these tribal politics that people are trying to introduce is just an extension of some of the things that these are politicians they have in their trick box. You know, it's quite shocking the way some people are taking the whole problem of the country out on the Igbos, when actually the reverse should be the case. You know, because every single injustice in this country has been suffered, has been, the Igbos have been made to suffer for every single injustice in the country. They bear the brunt, literally. They bear the brunt of all the injustices. And if you look at the leaders that have destroyed the countries, you know, none of them have really been from the southeast, apart from just one or two. But if you look at it for the 5 years, the sufferings in the country, say that somebody from the north or somebody from the southwest, that has destroyed this country the most. But still, nobody is talking about them. But everybody is just talking about the Igbos, the Igbos, the Igbos, blah, 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 blah. And even talking about land. I think earlier on there was this an outburst in the comment section and of course the phone call, about the Igbos not selling their lands or whatever. You say all those are hogwash. They are hogwash. You want to buy land from somebody and the person doesn't have the need to sell the land. Is that a crime? I don't know. Since when has that become a crime? Is it by force that somebody must do away with his land? It's not by force. If I go to the north and they decide to sell all their land for me, that is their business. But if you come to my place, for example, I'm from Edo State. If you come to my village, there are no more lands to be sold in my village exactly the way it is now. So what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? There are no lands, there are no lands. And have we even looked at the map of the country, the small area of land that was carved out for the Southeasterners? Because ordinarily, the whole of the Southeast used to comprise the whole of Rivers, Calabar, all those areas. But they just stylishly, Akwa Ibom and the rest, they stylishly cut off all those places and locked these guys in one small section of the country. And now people are talking about them not selling their land to other people. How does that even add up? How does that contribute to the problem we are having today? It's very unfortunate that things are turning out like this. I think we all have to be wary because these politicians, they are doing their thing, what they know best, how best to do. Well, I think, like I said, a lot of people have talked about this, but I know Engineer Ken very well, very, very well. You know, he's been very vocal and he doesn't like injustice and all these unfair talk. Like we have all agreed, something must have happened this evening. Though I don't know what Alex was trying to suggest that it's a weekend. But all the same, like Nigeria was said, he may come up tomorrow morning and you know he will come say something that's completely different. Now, having said that, personally, I'm not a party to all these things that they are just saying Tinubu is signing this, Tinubu is signing that. We all know the game. Buhari did more than this when he just came to power. He did more than this. And moreover, even like I keep saying, even if Tinubu, if he builds all the train station, all the railways, all everything, all the industries in the country, as for me, I don't simply give a damn. Because there's no way you can ever build on illegality. There is no way. Illegality will never ever stand. It cannot stand. It ought not to stand. So whatever Tinubu does now, I don't simply give a damn. And even these things that people are just praising him for, it's very unfortunate that it's even amongst the educated that even sees these things as if there are some big things that Tinubu is doing. Nobody is willing to look and see beyond the smoke screen. Without wasting our time, I'll just take one simple example. If we take the student loan, for example, the so-called student loan, it's just a repetition. It's just another way of perpetuating fraud. You ask me how. Now, there's already a provision in the constitution of the country, and the federal government have been making use of that provision. There's something they call education tax, which major companies are expected to pay to the Nigerian government. I think it's about 20% of their profits. And that fund yields trillions and trillions of naira to the coffers of our national treasury every
I think
year.
it's 2%.
You said what?
I think it's 2%.
Yeah, okay, sorry, 2%.
Money. It's a
Yes,
huge amount,
2%.
trillions every year.
Trillions every year. And nobody is talking about that fund. So what's the student loan? From that fund alone, you can solve the vast majority of the problem in our higher institutions. So what's the big deal about the student loan? And look at the cutthroat conditions associated with student loan. In a country where we don't even know who is who, we don't even know who is a Nigerian. Go to Katsina. You cannot differentiate between Nigeria and Nigerians. Go to some other part of the country, you can't distinguish between Nigerians and people from Chad. And don't even be surprised, these people from our neighboring countries, they have our national ID card. Why we don't have in the south? The borders are thrown open. So what's the guarantee that those people cannot just come and everybody coming to obtain the so-called student loan, the Father Christmas? Is that how nations are built? Is that how systems work? We are just, I don't know, we are just playing in this country. And the good thing is that I'm very happy that many people, even in the midst of this confusion, at least many people are speaking up, and a lot of people still believe on this mandate. So many people still believe on this mandate, irrespective of the confusion going on somewhere. I know a lot of people are beginning to, because it's just typical, it's not just only about Nigeria. It is just the typical thing with the black man. We cannot really hold our forts. We can't fight to the deadline. Any small thing, we are easily convinced, oh, it's okay, let's move on. It's okay, let's move on. Nations are not built like that. Or is it because that the suffering has become too much? That any small thing, any small succor that comes the way of the people, they easily just lash on it and accept it as standard. So I just think it's not proper and we cannot continue like that. Thank God the obese mandate has come. There's nothing. Every day I look at the court proceeding, I don't see any of them escaping this. I don't see them escaping this. There's just no way they are going to escape it. No way. How? The electoral fraud is there on its own. The personality of Tinubu is there on its own. Even the processes and procedures, the nominations, everything, they are all there. So there's just no way that the APC, the Tinubu-led APC government is going to survive this. I know a lot of people may lose hope. Yeah, it's common. That's why we are human. It's not all of us cannot have the same courage, the same sagacity, the same tenacity to fight to the end. All of us cannot have it, but some of us do have it and will continue in that tenacity to make sure that we solve all these problems to a logical conclusion. And I'm very sure without that we are going to reclaim this mandate back. And the kind of person I see in our dear Peter Obi, even if every Nigerian, even if everybody withdraws, is going to fight it to the finish line. That's the kind of man I see. So no matter what happens, yes, we can keep encouraging ourselves. It's good. But I'm very, very sure on the abilities and capabilities of our dear Peter Obi, our president, not president in waiting. He's our president. All you just need to do is to take a cursory look at his history, all the way from becoming the governor of Anambra till then, even as corrupt and as dirty as the PDP government was. But this man served there in key strategic positions, and you cannot tempt him with anything. Even the Yakubu that's busy destroying everybody, stealing mandates, giving election result to whoever. This same Yakubu worked under Peter Obi. Now it's the same person here that's just messing up the whole country, messing up the whole electoral system in the country. Imagine all this talk would have ended long ago. Imagine since May to this time, imagine the kind of things that our dear Peter Obi would have done, the things he would have put in place. Well, I'm even happy somehow, so that eventually it will be on history, because when this mandate is finally overturned, it's going to be on history that our swearing in used to be May 29th, but it was shifted because Tinubu stole election victory, orchestrated and championed and enabled by Mahmoud Yakub. So their name will be in the history of our country forever, that they stole the mandate of the people. That's why the swearing in ceremony, that's why the handover date was moved forward from May 29 to whatever date is going to be. That is how history is going to to remember them forever and ever. So I'd just like to conclude this by saying somebody was talking about the airpiece man. Yeah, it's always like that. That's why I'd say the Igbos, they bear the brunt, but at the end of the day, people just overlook. I remember in the early 2000, it was this same Obasanjo that some people are praising, that was the president then. What did he do? He made sure that Ibeto cement never ever succeeded. Ibeto brought in shipload of cement to the country, and Obasanjo ensured that that ship couldn't bet in Nigeria. And the ship betted in Nigeria, but they couldn't offload any of those cement, and everything got wasted in that ship, all because they want to favor Dangote, and nobody cried foul. And so many other businesses like that, so many other things like that. It is pure jealousy. And the more you do this to these people, the more they rise above the ashes. These are people that should be studied. I've said it several. These are people, they are like the Chinese and the Japanese put together in one. These are people Nigerians should. They refined their own fuel during the Civil War. They did everything by themselves. And yet we are not interested in harnessing those technologies. All we are interested in is to tag them, call them the names that don't not belong to them, just because it's pure jealousy. After the Civil War, how much did they give them? Was it not just £20? And how many years later, 60 years later, they are arguably the richest people in the whole of the country. So is it not a good thing that we should be studying these people? Are they able to do it? But instead, look at what we are doing. There's no fairness in competing in anything. In business, no fairness. In education, no fairness. In appointments, no fairness. Everybody has to. In Ireland, just 5 million people, they have 3 functional seaports. And in Nigeria, we have 200 million people. And they made sure that it's only Apapa Port in Lagos that's functional. That at the end of the day, we turn around, we start blaming the white people, as if it was only Nigeria that they colonized. That's not a way of exonerating them. I'm not saying they should be exonerated from what they did. But we should take responsibility. We are doing worse to ourselves. We are doing worse to ourselves in every ramification, every way you look at it. The kind of discrimination we do to ourselves, you can't even fathom it. The whites don't even do that to us. We are all blacks. We are championing orchestrating ethnicity against each other. And if it is racism, we are crying. The same people that are shouting Black Lives Matters, but the things that's happening in your own country, the number of people that are being killed every time in your country, they are keeping quiet. But if one happens in another man's country, oh, everybody keeps shouting and shouting and shouting. So not until we set our nation on a fair pedestal for everybody, There's no way people can just start, people cannot just start believing in the nation when the nation is structured in such a way that some people are advantageous over some others. Just look at the EFCC, for example. Oh my God, anyhow you look at it, the next most senior person there is always from the northern part. I'm not going to say from a certain part of the country. No, I'm a Nigerian. I have the authority to speak. It's always from the northern part of the country. Look at the DSS recruitment they did under Buhari's tenure. The people they recruited from only Katsina State was more than the whole people they recruited from the whole of the southeast. And the people talk, you say they shouldn't talk. They want to go, no, they cannot go. Okay, they have contested in election, no, you will not allow them to. They won, no, you will not allow them. So what exactly is the problem? The only way you want to have them is to have them as your slaves. It's even a curse in the Bible. And what is this that's happening under the sun? That the slaves are riding the horses and the masters are walking on the bed with their barefoot? How can the weakest of us be leading the strongest of us? There's no merit in anything we do in the country. And the sad part is that we are surprised that we are where we are. That's a surprising thing. Look at a clear case of stolen mandates. Then the so-called white-bearded he-goat professor had the audacity and the guts to be calling me a fascist. He just rubbished his Nobel Prize. He's not talking about every other thing that's happening. All the atrocities that happened in Lagos, he refused to condemn those atrocities, but he's concerned about the obedient movement. He's concerned about the obedient. Look at all of them. All of them. They are concerned about the obedient, and they are not speaking about the evil and the atrocities that is going on in the country every day. Is it the traditional rulers? All they are interested in is to get appointment from Tinubu. Everybody is flocking around him. How can people be celebrating that Tinubu has removed the EFCC chairman? Tinubu has done this. This is somebody that's supposed to be investigated in the first place. He's not the one that the people are entrusting to do the right thing. Brothers and sisters, we are in a very long thing. We are not ready yet. The only hope that I have is that I know for sure, no matter how they are going to do this mandate will be recovered. The evidences are just too overwhelming. They are overwhelming and they are coming in sackload. No matter what, we'll recover. To be honest, I don't just know. As educated, the educated people that are even defending these stolen mandates, even if the mandate wasn't to be stolen, but this same person we are talking about, look at the way newspapers across the world reported his victory. A drug baron, a fixer, has been elected the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
A kingpin,
A kingpin, all the names. And this so-called
drug lord.
this
These were the
so-called
names.
professor, whatever they call themselves, none of them could say anything. They all kept quiet. All of them kept quiet. But anytime they see any tweets from any obedient, aha, they start shouting. They did all they could to tag the obedient movement and Igbo movement and IPOV movement, but it failed. It failed. They did all they could, but it failed. All the blackmail, all the propaganda, but it failed. The people simply wanted change. It's just an extension of the NSAS. The people simply wanted change. The people were tired and they saw a messiah in Peter Obi, and rightly so. In any way you look at it, the man is simply a messiah. It's a textbook definition of a messiah. Imagine with the apparatus, with the paraphernalia of the federal government of Nigeria. The only thing they could tag to this man is a doctored telephone call. A doctored telephone call. That is all. That is all they could tag to this man. Isn't that simply amazing? Is that not just amazing? Even in the Western world, I'm very sure to be difficult to get a politician as clean as this man.
That's right.
And we are not just only resting on his integrity now. No, because it's not enough to be clean to be able to move a nation forward. But the man has the plan.
The pedigree.
He has the plan. He has everything put together in one human being. He has his business, he's very humble. He's a billionaire, but he lives like every other man in the streets.
Compassionate.
Compassionate. He's down to earth. So what else do we want in a leader that this man doesn't have? He's not frivolous. He doesn't talk anyhow. He's just there. Somebody came out and he campaigned and he told everybody everywhere he went, please don't vote for me because of my tribe or my religion. Vote for me because of my capacity. Yet, the satanic people, like our dear brother always say, Niger Watch, satanic people turn around to tag this man as someone that is using ethnicity, religion to campaign. Whereas the two other candidates that came out publicly to say it was his turn and the turn of his people, and the other one that said the only person that can, and the first person is Tinubu, the second person Atiku, that said that the only people that can guarantee the interest of the North is a northern candidate like him. Nobody took them up. The mainstream media, they were all dumbfounded, but everybody waiting for one simple slip from our leader, just one simple slip from him. They are waiting anything at all to throw at him. But still, the man kept going. I think the funny thing in all these things, even the Peter Obi is even surprising we his followers.
That's right.
Every day is
That's right.
even we see what we even see about him that we are falling in love with him for is even like 10% of what he is actually capable of doing. We cannot even see the other 90%. We only see those ones through his actions every day. It was only just yesterday that Nigeria Watch featured the news of how he already engaged a professor of mathematics long before everything, long before all this. This is capacity. We can't even comprehend his full capacity.
Chris, do you mind if I interject briefly?
Please do, please do.
You see, when he came to, I think it was in US or in Canada, I don't remember, during the campaign, right? They asked him a question, say, given what the Nigeria situation or environment is in terms of rigging and everything, how does he think that he will they'll be able to give it to him? You remember what he said? He responded, he said, you do your part, go and vote first, leave it for me.
Leave the part, yes, leave the
Leave
other,
the part.
yes.
That
I
was,
think
you can see that he already know the system. He's already planning already how to deal with it. He said, you go and vote first. Your responsibility, go and vote. Leave it first. Leave the rest for me. And we can see it from everything that is going on. The man that have fully prepared for these vultures. Thank
the
you so
man
much.
the man is just simply amazing. I think I would just like to round up by speaking wholeheartedly to our Igbos brothers. See, there might be skirmishes left, right, and center. We shouldn't be deterred by all those. You should always look at the majority, what the majority thinks in this struggle. And I think the majority holds you guys in good esteem. So let's focus on that and let's leave the one or two diversions here and there. It's all political game, but eventually we are going to get this mandate back. Once again, Mr. Nigeria, I like I keep saying, I don't know how you do this. Since morning you've been on, and it's another day now. It's almost morning again, and this is how you continue. Not one day, not for the weekend, not on every day, every single day since you made that proclamation that you are going to use the platform for Peter Obi, since and you come out every single day. You have done it. I salute you. More grease to your elbow. Wherever the source of your strength is, please just hold on to that source of strength, that source of inspiration. You are doing a good job, and posterity, I mean to say, posterity will remember you when we are taking reckoning of everything that happened. When we are talking about how this battle was fought and won, posterity will remember you for sure. Once again, thank
Amen.
you very
Oh.
much for the opportunity to speak. Thank you all for listening. I yield.
Amen. And see, I was just to add to what you have, the last thing you just said now. I said, I remember when I was reading history of both education and history of Nigeria, we read about how Nigeria got independent and the various groups that, spearheaded everything. Same way I say, there's no way by the time we get this new Nigeria, the history of Nigeria or that new Nigeria will be written without Niger Watch, this particular this thing, you know, without it giving a front recognition in the platform that brought about the new Nigeria. So God will bless you, my brother, and all the people who have also been coming here every day to contribute. Yeah, it's like everybody has slept. Well, I need to say a few things before. Uh,
I think most people have slept.
it's like they have slept.
Yeah.
The,
And for those
the, the,
who are
the,
still
la-
listening,
the, lazy, the lazy one have slept.
Black Panther. Is that
I
Black
bet,
Panther?
I bet
Eh?
the battle
That's
is
Black
still
Panther.
ahead. Let's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
let me
okay.
thank you, my brother Chris, and one love. Two of you. Well, because I don't know which state you guys are from, but it doesn't matter which state.
I'm
Truth
from
is
Edo
truth.
State, a proud son
You
of
see,
Benin.
truth is truth. God bless you, my brother, irrespective of
Amen.
wherever it comes from or it came. The issue of the Igbos in Nigeria, I used to say, the more Nigeria continue to do the thing they are doing to the Igbos, they are shooting themselves on the foot. Because it's not by accident that God put in Nigeria a tribe called the Igbos with the talent he has given. You can't say we're talented more than every other person, but everybody, just like the body, everybody have specialty. In any organization, everybody has specialty. They have what they can do and what they cannot do. So also the Igbos in Nigeria. And if the Igbos are given the proper position, recognition, and allowed to feel belong, trust me, I don't know any country in this world that can outcompete us in anything. I don't know. I just don't know that can outcompete us. I go, for instance, now I go to schools, primary for the past few months. I've been going around many elementary schools and middle schools here in the state where I live to assist, with kids with, autism, in learning. Now I see each time I go to all these schools, I see the kind of learning environment, the kind of equipment these schools has, these elementary school and middle schools. Oh. the kind of environment, conducive environment, all sort of manner of learning equipments, even fine arts. I will go to their fine art teachers. This elementary school, middle school, you see the equipment, different equipments that universities, no university in Nigeria could afford such equipments. And these people are being pleaded. We plead to them. We beg them to even sit down and learn. They don't want to use those opportunities. And I say, God, how is it possible to carry these things to Nigeria and expose our people to this? But in spite of the fact that we don't have all those things, yet see how Nigerians do well, even in education, and even when they get out of our shores of Nigeria. All because we have wicked leadership. People who does not think of the country but themselves alone. And unfortunately, the same people they are oppressing, that same people will always be in their defense. That is even the one that I see. My heart to be bleeding. Can't people see? Can't people just imagine? Can't people see, understand what is going on? People are killing you. They're undermining your progress. They're undermining your humanity. They're undermining your existence. And yet you still run in defense of this same individual. One, because of your tribe. So in other words, you don't care who is leading you as long as that person is your tribe. Whether it's leading you to hell, you don't care at all. And then here comes somebody whom for the first time, not just in the history of Nigeria alone, I would say, I make bold to say that the combination of we see in Peter and Obidati, anybody can prove me wrong. There's no African country, as far as African continent is concerned, there is no combination of leader we have ever seen like these two individuals. People who just want to serve, not because of what they feel they intend to get, but they just want to offer their service, sacrifice themselves in order to at least give their people a good leadership. Let them have a taste of what good leadership is about for the first time in their life. And people are fighting against this, and they think it's just about an Igbo man being a president. And it's even the one that is most sad. It's not about an Igbo man. Obi happens to be somebody that came from an Igbo land. He has said it time and time again, he wants to serve Nigeria. And many of us that believe in him, we're not supporting him because he's an Igbo man. If that is the case, then we could also support Oji to become a Senate president when he was campaigning for that. But look at how every Igbo man, many Igbo men, Igbo race were happy the day he came crying in the public, how he was disappointed, how he was, his life has finished because they didn't give it to him. We were happy. Because yes, in as much as Tinubu's administration is a conglomeration of vultures, gangsters, cankerworms, conglomeration of devourers, conglomeration of thieves, hoodlums, agberus, yet we still don't want somebody like Uzo to add into that, because that will make it worse than it is already. Worse than it is already is. That is the Igbo man. Or maybe hopeless Uzo Danger to say he wants to be anything outside Imo State. No Igbo man will support him. It's because of the integrity we see in the man called Obi. Can anybody here think that Obi would have not been offered heaven and earth to see that he give up the Obi movement, obedient? Oh God, come on, he would have been offered whatever he has. In fact, I'm sure just him mention it. I'm sure they would have given him a blank check to just mention whatever he wants so that he can give, he can go and sit down and shut up. But that is not him. He's not wired like that to take bribe. That is why most of all people like me, like myself, that hate anything that has to do with bribe, corruption, and unfairness, I am supporting him. Initially, I never supported him because I was skeptical on this platform around June or around May, June. I was still skeptical because I'm one of those that believe there's nothing that will come out again from Nigeria. We should divide and let everybody go their separate ways. Yes, I still believe in that. But with Obi coming in and seeing who he is, his tenacity, his probity, His compassionate heart, his unassuming nature, a forthright man, a man with great capacity, visionary leader. For the first time, I would say, Nigeria will have such a visionary individual coming to lead them. Not hoodlums that don't even know how to plan for tomorrow, for next year. All they are planning is now. People that cannot even tell you, harness the immense resources that we have today in IT world to better
My
the
brother,
country. It's so sad. It's so sad that people will just see it as an Igbo man, not looking at what the man is bringing to the table. As if if he didn't get this thing, he's going. He has told us time and time again that it's not a do or die affair. He just wants to serve. And in fact, I would say, Obi is doing Nigeria a great favor for offering himself. So
my
people
brother.
yes, go ahead, my brother.
Okay, you see, there's something we need to know about these people, these people that are roaming around, calling themselves political leader, all these people like Agbado and Co.
Mm-hmm.
If we got to go, this whole thing, if you got to go to their upbringing, their moral upbringing, I will categorically conclude that these people are not well brought up. Their moral upbringing is questionable.
You know this saying that they say that even fools grow old, right?
Yes.
If we even trace the origin of these people, most of these our so-called political leaders and senators and whatever, if there's nothing, most of them might even be all those what is it called, occult members in universities. Okay, and we all know in Nigeria, most of these cult groups in university are sponsored by these politicians because those are part of the people they use to do their dirty job during elections.
Yes, we know about that one. I won't even divert to that because those ones are just those ones they die they remain in the state politics as a whole. But there's a transformation, there's a transformation and there's a higher level which they now come and participate in. I want to just say this. You see, there was a day I was making a sort of a speech or a deliberation. I told them that look, if you are following this movement, you have to have a thick skin.
Yeah.
You have to have a thick skin, and you have to have what's called human antivirus that will block that will block one, tribalism, two, nepotism, three, favoritism. Look, that thing in you will make you just focus on the crown.
That's it.
Just focus. And people have not learned this lesson. You keep on. There was a guy one day I was listening to a guy in one cyberspace. The guy was just running his mouth. You know the guy, but I won't mention his name. The guy was just running his mouth on oil sector. After he dumbled into what they call it, student loan. He just talk. I just listened. Then he mentioned one thing in the sector. I just pumped into that network. When I pump in, he just ran. Before you know, he don't come out. I address him very well.
See, Black Panther, there is no vaccine that can defeat that virus if you join this group. That vaccine has not been made, has not been created.
That is it. Everybody should develop that thing, antibodies in him. You don't listen to the second voice, just listen to one voice.
The focus.
The focus and just listen, watch it, and try to. One thing we should all know too, we should try and be loaded with the political history of Nigeria too, and that will now direct us to the trajectory and the system, the style they are going. If you know these people, you watch them in their history, you know where they are going. So when they come up with policy, you will just laugh. Is it not one of our brother just said here that they created this student loan to just siphon another system money again.
It's a
That is
food for
that
the boys, eh?
that
It's
is
a
just
food for the
it.
boys. That is
But
just
some
the way
of
you
us
can
we just
summarize it.
the
It's
guy
a food
was
for the boys.
the guy came up with statistics on oil. Oh, this thing, yeah, they will develop this. I said one thing in my mind. I said, is this not this same Dangote refinery that just been given a license to import gas, fuel? What
That's
happened to his refinery again? Now give another
exactly,
license to import another fuel. Oh my God, what are these
exactly,
people trying to tell us?
exactly. This is the person that they said the refinery by June or July it will start
He,
functioning. Now he has been offered the license to import
license to import fuel too.
oil. So who are they deceiving?
Somebody came up, started talking
The
all
end
this.
of this year, this 2023 will pass without even that oil refinery working.
They just come and start spilling garbage from their mouth
Bamboozle us.
because they have eaten small change from the master's table. And you come and look at all. You think we didn't go to the four wall of a school or a university? You
They think
just come up
everybody
and
is
talk.
foolish like them.
I told him, I said, I challenge you. You come one-on-one. Maybe I use sit down, we'll talk economic terminology that the Nigerian people that have used, that have been a success in Nigeria. Let us come and talk it. I challenge him. Not be say country, I challenge him. I'm not a dropout. I was honored with a degree. And it's not even a single honor. I had the privilege of having a double honor in a school. So nobody should come and bulldoze me. And I participated in everything.
Black Panther, by the way, did you hear any news again about the $800 million they borrowed to alleviate the increase in oil and removal of oil subsidy? Did anybody hear anything about that?
No, that one is Agbado payback. Now I spend money.
It has
That
disappeared.
was a send
For the
that one
boys.
was a
A
send-off
send-off party
party.
for the boys.
That one of the payback now.
A
They don't
send-off
pay them
party
back
for the
now.
boys, including the 131 million billion naira they use in painting one aircraft.
You won't see that money again. That money don't go.
Ah, man, Nigeria, the more you see, the more you know, the
People,
less you see.
you know, one thing about it is that people will come to a platform and start speaking like, see, yes, I am like there's one dog, they call it sniffer dog. I am like a sniffer dog. When you start talking, your premises is what I will watch. When I get it, I will know where you are going to. I was trained like that because I was trained by this so-called military personnel. I was trained to look at somebody's eyes. I'll know what is going on. So when you keep on talking, you come here, you stick, we need security. He has brought up a student loan. Let us see how the student will go. Who are you talking to? Now let us see how the student loan will go. Something that you know that is already corrupt. Something that is money for the boys. You are talking about student loan.
We have the agents in our platform. We have the agent. They will come and
see what
pretend as if
no,
they're with us.
I want to ask them what capacity, what educational capacity Agbado have to come and tell you that went through, that have a doctorate, come and tell you any economic policy that it can do, that it can even exercise in the country that have gone down below the benchmark. What capacity does he have? What company does he have?
Can I tell you what happened on the initiation of this student loan something? Can I tell you what I think these people did? What they simply did was to advise Tinubu, you know what? Do this, that people are craving for this, do it, that may make you to buy acceptance among the youth. Because once you buy acceptance among the youth, they will be re-questioning their support for obedient movement. And once you do that, once they begin to question their support, and then they will switch up. So once that doubt is created in them, then that is enough. Then you see them switching off and saying, you know what, I think this man, he has good policy. Let us see if he can, let us just give him a chance. But they would not know that giving him a chance, first of all, the student loan, if you read it, if you study it and see the measures, the stringent that is attached to it before you can get it, you will find out that it's just all fake. All fake.
You know why they are. Can I come in just for a second?
Go ahead,
yeah,
sure.
you know why their attempt, to get the youth will not work. It's
That is
simply
just it.
yeah,
But
you
it
know what?
won't
You
work.
know why it will not work? It's simply because there is no way you can accept anything from these people, from these satanic people, and still be able to articulate your reason for supporting them.
For supporting them.
The youth will they themselves they will look foolish, they will sound foolish. There is no way you can't even last a day, talk less of following them for a long period because you cannot articulate your reason. You will appear foolish each and every time. So that's why they stand no chance. So they can't get the youth.
But
Just forget
again,
about that. It's not going to happen.
Jonathan, somehow, right? Some of them they are succeeding. No, not all youths, but there's some youth that are already caving in. They have something that is circulating. One youth that is circulating on WhatsApp now, right? Now, see what that youth said. Let me say it. Let me read it. Say maybe it is better Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. The name of the person, by the way, is Ruth. He said maybe Tinubu is the he's a student at University of Abuja. Maybe Tinubu is the president of Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. Maybe sorry, let me take it again. Maybe it is better Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. He is very ruthless man. He's a very ruthless man. He will take a lot of this decision that Peter Obi might not have the heart to take. I love Peter Obi, but I am beginning to see things from a realistic point of view. Now, this is a youth, a student, okay? So some of their messages are penetrating, and you know how fickle in mind many Nigerians are, okay? How that they don't have that capacity to decide on something and stand by it. They are easily swayed, like if you read Julius Caesar, like the Roman plebeian, okay, that are easily carried away, depending on who is speaking to them. Okay, that fickleness is what Nigerian politicians have known over the years about Nigerians, and they have always capitalized on it. And that is exactly the playbook they are using right now. And some youth are falling flat. I have spoken to 3 individuals, youth in Nigeria today. Man, if I tell you the discussion that I had with them, you feel sad. And that is why I had to come to this platform to say what I said, because of my encounter with those three youths, how they feel. Because I always ask them, how is the environment? How are people taking the whole situation? Some don't even want to hear about the election anymore. They say, election don't pass, we have moved on. I say, really? You just moved on? That is how some youth, if you like, make some calls of the youth. You find out that is what has happened to some youth. So these people somehow, their old style, their old relic style is working. Look at what this youth is circulating on WhatsApp, and I refuse to share this. Somebody share it to me. I refuse to share it because I'm not going to further allow this kind of nonsense, senseless, defeatist attitude to continue to propagate. I won't be part of
That's exactly what I'm saying. You see, that comment that he made cannot even stand the test of time. And in no time, they will all realize it's not going to take long at all, because this present government, this Tinubu shenanigan government, see, in order for them to prolong what they are doing, they have to continue. You know, it's just like the case of someone that lie. And in order for you to cover that lie, you have to
you
lie
need 10 more lies. You have
and
to
more
continue to
lies.
lie.
So there is no way they can sustain it. It's not possible. All these things they are doing, see, it will start showing by the time they start appointing. What we've seen now is just the tips of the iceberg. We will start seeing the full appointment. You will see
The
the
ministers
people
will see.
you will see the people they will surround themselves with. So all these things they are just a show. So it's not going to stand the test of time. And that's it. And the youth, most of these youth that I say, it will be clear to them. See, I love there was someone joined the panel, about an hour ago or thereabout, one elder brother, joined the panel. So obedience is not entirely of the youth.
Of course.
It's not just only entirely of the youth. So there are those that are more sensible within the obedient group, they are in the majority. So all these ones that you are saying, yeah, they are in the majority. And see, there is no way you can support this present charade that you have and still
It's
be
a
a
real
sense
charade, man.
and still be a sensible human being. You
That's right.
cannot, because you have to defend everything that they come out with every day,
They come
and
out
there is
with
no way you can defend the indefensible. It is not.
exactly.
It's just not possible. At the end of the day, in no time, you will start. You can't articulate your point. You cannot articulate yourself. At the end of the day, you will be seeing yourself. It will become so clear to you yourself, unless you just want to remain adamant and just remain to be a fool. You see? So
It is
that's it.
exactly. It is much harder, much, almost twice as much harder to defend lies than the truth. Because you will need to fabricate, you will need to be, cracking your brain. What kind of lie will I bring out now to cover up this?
Have you seen, see, anybody that goes into this team clean, as in a clean person with integrity, with stellar career and antecedent, quality quality antecedent, go into that person will come out stained.
Of course.
It will come out stained. Therefore, there is no sensible person that will go into this, knowing fully well what you are going into, except those that are simply going there just for the food, for what they are going to eat.
You know the worst thing about the whole thing. You see, most people that are coming together to talk about that, oh, it's good, see what they have done in Lagos. None of them stayed in Lagos State. None of them know him very well. But they just, because they say, oh, Jagaban is a Lagos guru, everybody just follow that music. They don't know the man. They don't know him.
They don't
know him. I was in Lagos when he became governor. I was in Lagos. I was born in Benin. I didn't even stay Benin more than 5 years. My dad is always there. I'm always moving as a cop. So they moved into Lagos. So I was there. The guy didn't do one thing. One thing. He was just talking. Oh, the only thing that I saw that he did was to build those millennium school. And he didn't even do all. They now left it for the next person. The next person now came in, his boy, now built a millennium school with standard is better than what we even have in the US. That was, but at the long run, they forgot it, they abandoned it, and that was all. That was all. That's the only thing, they abandoned it, but it was the best.
And he created more Agberu. He created more Agberu than any other government.
That is the only empowerment. He empowered the market women.
He created more Agberus, empowered them to be terrorizing oceans.
That's it. So many of them, many of them don't know him. Many of them don't know him. They don't know him. They only knew him when we started saying that he was formerly a drug guru, a kingpin, and he doesn't have certificate. That was when people started saying, "Oh, so you have something." Oh, he does. Oh, we see them. I like that they talk, but it was proven. It was proven to the entire world. We proved it to them that he didn't own anything.
In Chicago school, he went there.
He didn't know. He didn't have anything in Chicago school. He did not go anywhere.
Nothing. The certificate is parading is somebody else's name that he is in forging the certificate is parading as his school certificate. Now they claim that they born during Nadeko, they born his house and the certificate was born. That's why it doesn't have original. Are you kidding me? If you attended any university in America here, you can in your house or with your computer, you can go and get your certificate and read a copy.
Black Panther, you say you don't go anywhere. Black Panther.
The guy no go anywhere.
You don't go anywhere.
Yeah, I know.
You don't go anywhere. That is the truth. You don't go anywhere.
Not be woman name. To the extent the name na woman name.
That name, Bola, na woman name. Na woman.
No secondary school mates, no primary school mates, nothing.
No primary school mates.
You know, go
every
anywhere.
One of us, I'm sure every one of us here is still in contact with their primary school or secondary school friend.
They're just a supporter. They don't know anything. No, so some kind of people.
Primary school. When was it I finished primary school? Almost 48 years ago. I still have contact with some of my primary school mates.
make it even in wife self. In wife self.
Yes.
In wife self, he go school. Me, I want no. I won't even go into that in wife self. More go there into it now. More open. More open now. In fire.
We never shine spotlight on the wife.
We go soon shine them. Go know
We
his
never
school where he
begin
go.
to touchlight the wife before. That is that to ourselves. We never
Come,
even know
come
where his her antecedents.
He spent over how many 20-something years in the Senate doing nothing.
Oluwole
Doing
stay for
nothing.
Senate, no.
Not
Because
be
husband.
all those boys where they support them for London. Wait till they think they take go London. Not be Oluwole. They want to tell me that one. Now Oluwole all of them they go.
All of those is group. All of those is group, including even like all of them has one criminal record or the other in America, including the chief of staff.
They won't tell me. Me, I be Benin boy. I don't work out. I don't reach that place where they say they want you. That people I don't see. I don't all those things. See, sometimes they just say now only them fit chop pepper. We don't chop the pepper. We don't become good boy. All that's why they do that. All the Oluwole who don't know the level. Who don't know the level. Yeah. Now wow. Somebody come to tell me for London, say, oh, now like this, you could do oh yeah. He's a gentleman, he's a my just hold your mouth there. You don't know anything. Anyway, you see, so I grew up I grew up among their worries.
You know,
I grew up among their worries.
You know the time when they use Uri Olori. You know what they call Uri Olori?
I know now.
Agbado use go America.
God bless you.
That's why they bear that name. No be name. That name no na Uri Olori way use.
Don't mind them. They come here and they make noise. I did for UK. Go marry white to Igbo woman. Go divorce. I can't tell me say they UK. I beg you. I tell them say look.
Peter Obi, principal will do if he become president. One of the things that I would really love for him to do, one of it is that you make sure every oil company in Nigeria, anywhere you are processing your oil in Nigeria, your headquarters should be situated in that community, in that state or city. This issue of almost all the oil processed in the Niger Delta area and then in the eastern side, and then you have their headquarters in Lagos, and they are collecting all the profit they are making, they are paying their taxes in Lagos, and Lagos will be bragging that they are having too much internally generated. Whereas it's like poor man they chop, bamboo they whack. And that is why they can afford to decimate their host community. Because
my brother, that one a long process.
So many things.
The first thing I want to make you do, is this electoral law.
I'm just saying that should be part of the things you look into because of the decimation of the environment in which they are operating.
See, the first thing, how to drive these people out of the road. When they come for our road, the first thing, computerize the INEC. Don't make the chairman to announce.
Every system, even salary of workers, everything, computerize everything.
Don't give power to the INEC again to be announcing, to be the final say for president. Give it back to the people in the house. Let them ratify the result, not the court again. Let them ratify it and pass it. Then they now pronounce it. That is what we should be doing.
Exactly, everything computerized.
Diaspora go to vote. We can look at the hotel.
Not just election. All this a country like this, we still talk about ghost workers. Millions of people being paid salary that doesn't work, and it goes into the pocket of all these ministers and their cohorts. All those are some of our money is being stolen, and those are the things Obi want to come and Obi has promised to block. All those wastages. How can we be talking about ghost workers, ghost pensioners?
If diaspora don't they vote and everybody using phone, they vote, they get social security number, they will never win election again. All of them will come out because if everybody they vote, I don't want to be to lock any of them up. Tell them say how much you don't steal. Okay, give us 60%. Take the remaining one go house. Not come here again. No, just take that one go. Not come again. Just go.
100% I go collect everything. No. I go collect everything from every penny from them.
We don't want to make their boys
come to go and sleep because they have killed Nigerians.
We don't want to make their boys come to disturb us. Let them give their boys the remaining.
You see this their student loan where they just start now. Wait until you see all these alimanjiris go they collect
Those
student loan.
I say
those
it's a food
students.
for the boys and for their followers.
Alimanjiris go they collect student loan for not.
For nothing, I'm not going to school. That's
You will
why
see that now.
the
You will see
boys.
ghost students. Now
They
then
will
go they collect the loan.
exactly go students, and some they will collect and not go to school.
What about people go enter from Niger, come collect loan
To come and collect
automatically?
student loan and
Because
collect
all
and
those
go back.
people, they all have our national ID card.
Of
All those
course,
people,
of course.
they'll just come into the country,
That's why I
collect the
say it's
loan
a
and go
food for
back.
the boys and their followers.
You know the same
It's a
thing they are
food.
doing with this fuel subsidy, whatever. They finish importing the fuel to Nigeria. We pay for it, taxpayers' money, and they take those fuel to neighboring countries to go and sell.
Now they don't carry license give. They don't carry license give the boys
Give
good.
them
Dangote
the
to the
errand
import
boy.
gas. The iron boy,
The errand boy.
African billionaire. Oloku.
The African quota billionaire. It's quota billionaire. Quota system billionaire. Because no other businessman in Nigeria have the opportunity. They have the privilege that this man has been given in Nigeria. No single individual.
Cement is the most expensive cement all over the world.
Exactly. Look at that. He produces cement in Nigeria, and yet we buy cement more expensive than every other African country where this man is selling cement.
How come?
Where this man is selling? How would you explain that? And people think Dangote being oil is going to Nigeria, is going to help Nigeria. People now, they never know now want another one chance. You see this Dangote refinery, another one chance of exploitation to feed the boys, because all of them have stake in it. All of them have stake in it. It's another opportunity to further enslave Nigeria and continue to serve, milk them.
Yeah.
But
This opportunity Dangote has, give it to any other Nigeria, it will be the person will also become a billionaire.
Imagine if
it's not an inventor, it's not anything, it's just because
a mentally deranged person. Give it to somebody without education, without anything.
Nothing. It will become a billionaire.
Give it to one Igbo guy in Idumota and see the wonders he will do with it. One Igbo trader, give that up. Not even half 1/10 of it to one Igbo guy in Idumota and see the wonders he will do with it. Yeah? Look at Innocent. What opportunity did he get to be even the greatest indigenous car manufacturer in Africa today? What this thing did he receive from the federal government? So a country like Nigeria, imagine if the federal government had been patronizing that guy. He would have probably have his plant in all states, capitals in Nigeria, that would have provided massive job everywhere for Nigeria. By now, hopefully, Nigeria probably would have been exporting cars to African countries.
Yeah, of course. Idea.
Okay. And imagine the revenue Nigeria would have been earning through that.
Now that Tinubu is coming out with all these policies every day, he suspended he canceled the oil subsidy, he introduced, he signed the student loan and all the rest of it. One of the major things I dare him to do that is to say all public vehicles in Nigeria that the Nigerian government will purchase will be locally manufactured.
Will be locally manufactured. Those that have
that's the step that a productive government would take in the 21st century.
He can never do that. He can never. They're not born now.
If that happens, in the next 1 year, you will see how many thousands or hundreds of thousands of Nigerian youths that will be gainfully employed.
Let me say one thing. Let me say one thing here. They are talking about Dangote being the billionaire. Look, go and listen to Alex Onyema. That man, go and listen to that man very well.
Listen to him now. That's a Nigeria Airways something they did. Imagine if Alex Onyema was the one that have it.
The guy coughed out $1 billion in no shake hand. $1 billion to buy one aircraft, you know, shake the guy.
And then he's expecting more. He says he has already
See,
2 billion.
they say
$2
Dango to
billion
get money.
already
They say
for
Dango
some
to
more.
get money. Just combine 2 Igbo boys for Alaba. You go see money where they go cough out. They say Dango to get money. Which money he get? I be the one who know. The one who know. Somebody cough out $1 billion for shake hand for one aircraft. Nigeria get the money. They go wait. How much they buy the aircraft when they see a fighter jet? How much they buy it? Nonsense.
I think it's 300 and is it 300 and something million dollar for those 10 aircrafts.
They don't know what they want. Somebody individual $1 billion. Let them talk now. Let us see who get power.
No, imagine if it's Onyema, they have that agreement with to float Nigerian Airways. Imagine what Nigeria would have stood to gain.
They don't want. They don't want.
Because it's an Igbo man. They rather prefer to go outside to another country and arrange because their hands are not clear.
It's not only because na Igbo man. The problem there is that they Yoruba will say Oloju kokoro ma pa won. See, everything they are focused on is just that money, dollar.
Money, exactly.
You see that 49% that got to this airline, the major Ethiopia Airline. I am very confident and I beg to be corrected. Ethiopia Airline is not getting nothing more than 30% from that investment. The remaining one, and Nigerian government, all of them go divide that.
Black Panther is not even up to 30%. Ethiopia Airline will not get up to 30%.
They know lie for Nigerian man side. Those greedy people, they don't give them all. Those people say 30%.
And that is why the truth will never come out. Because the people that are supposed to pursue the truth, they already have their courts. They already have their courts. So that's why the truth will not come out. Rather than for the truth to come out, they will make sure that they protect all those that are involved in this in this atrocity. Is the truth will not come out from this, because all of them, that money has been distributed up to the presidency. I stand to be corrected, but that is the way it is, because they are not fools. These guys are smart people. You cannot tell me that Ethiopian Airline will contribute nothing. $0. I mean $0. And then you give Ethiopian Airline 49%. No.
Even that 49%, they didn't contribute anything so far in those whole arrangement. Ethiopian Airline have not contributed any time.
Look at what happened. Ethiopia Airline is leasing its own aircraft into the investment. They are leasing their own aircraft. They are now leasing it into the investors, and they are the investors themselves. Double money. Can you imagine? I'm investing in this business. I'm now giving you. I'm leasing my aircraft to the investors, which I'm partaking in it too. So is that not stupid?
Those people need to be jailed. All those involved with that Ponzi scheme, because that was one of the most blatant open robbery against Nigerians. All of them need to be jailed. All the people that are involved in this scheme. Okay, this is a scheme. They need to be jailed.
Oyema has already said that he's advising this selected president to strike off that deal, because that deal is going.
But he's not going to do that now, because it's part of them. They are all the same. They are all in the same gang.
The deal is not going to work out. It's not going to work out.
But they're
not going to do that. You know what? You wait until if he's still in government, or if Tinubu is still in government, till the time he appoints the new aviation minister. Let's wait till that time, and then we will see. Because that new aviation minister will go for his own cut from that 49%. And if he's able to get his own cut from that 49%, you will see how they will just cover up this whole thing.
You don't get and finish.
That's what will happen.
And that is what is going to happen. And if it happens to be Fani Kayode, of course, we all know how everything will be on what did they call it?
Fani Kayode that is still owing Nigeria $2 billion. Where he won't go? You know, if you go there, lie, they don't give up.
You know, do you watch now and see if you will not land the position? Watch and
no,
see.
they can't give it to him now. He's still owing. EFCC is on the case. The file is still on EFCC. $2 billion. Where did he spend the money on?
Because all this talk, you think he can finish all those stuff for nothing? You'll be surprised. Fani Kayode will be one of the ministers, even if he may not be aviation, but he might get one portfolio in this administration. Of course, this administration of the crook, by the crook, for the crook, so they know themselves. The more crooker you are, the more you stand the chance to get a cut from the.
I doubt it. I doubt it that Tinubu will be so ill-advised or allow himself to be so ill-advised to appoint Fani Kayode to any ministerial position. Because it's like people are already calling you a thief, and you now come out and say, yes, I'm a thief.
Okay, my brother, has he not given Dele Alake a position?
He has given. You know, they will
what manage. Is the difference between Dele Alake and Fani?
See, they will manage Fani Kayode. They will give him one appointment, maybe in one of those parastatals.
Appointment is appointment. He may not be minister.
They will manage him somehow.
Dele Alake
may not be ministerial, but an appointment is an appointment in his
administration.
He may not be that minister of aviation or any minister, but at least you can give him any portfolio. It's still the same thing. A thief is a thief, no matter the position you put him.
You know, Dele Alake na small thief now. They not give big thief. They also give Dele Alake position, but that
Richard Bergot and a crook. He made what is it? Give him advice ability.
They not give FFK now. FFK na big thief. They not give him ministerial.
Who will give him? Not be bigger thief. The person that is giving the position, is he not a bigger thief?
I gotta go rob Nigeria.
The person went there in charge. What is it? Does anybody steal more? Has anybody in Nigeria stolen more than him? Maybe it's Babangida, you would say, that have stolen more than him.
This Tinubu no fit trust FFK. Like, he no fit trust FFK. I'm very sure of that one.
And what is it called? What is this man? Special purpose vehicle. Atiku and Obasanjo. Maybe these are the three people that must have stolen more than Tinubu. They're all in the same capacity. Special purpose vehicle. They use that, they steal our money. Tinubu don't make us. They don't make us move.
Tinubu money big. Hey, Tinubu buy everybody for Nigeria.
Do you know if care is not taken, Tinubu might be richer than Dangote? Okay, if care is not taken, because I can bet my life that Tinubu would have spent more than 500 billion naira on this election so far.
Well, he may have
more than that.
If not more than that, and it's not shaking, and to him it's like a chicken change.
Are you sure it's like a chicken change to him? Because
of course. Now, do you know how much he realizes every month? Do you know?
It looks like he almost ran out. Remember,
out of waiting.
Remember, David Hundeyin ran a report saying that he got Sanwo-Olu to go and take out a loan of 300 billion or something, so that he will use to finish his bribing the Supreme Court guys. So he may have gotten some of his recruits on credit. And that might explain why he reached out immediately and grabbed the oil subsidy, so he will pay them off.
Well, I don't know if he has run out, but even if it could probably be momentary, because that man, the money he gets every month, he receives in billions of naira every month, both from his the package he made Lagosians to sign up to agree as the severing package for a retired governor who has finished his term, plus the money, 15% or so he collect from Alpha Beta. Okay, Lagos revenue every month, I think they take it around 45 to $50 billion every month. And of that, he gets 15% cut. Imagine how much is that? Plus his package, monthly package from Lagos State as a next governor. Put all of that together, and then put if you also add what his son gets from what is it? They being in charge of the Senate, the advertisement and everything in Lagos. Advertisement in Lagos is a multi-billion naira project. Companies, all those adverts you see in Lagos, they cost quite a lot of money. And his son is in charge of that, plus his daughter in charge of Iyaloja. The money that family collects from Lagos every month is several billions.
That guy,
nobody up to today, nobody know who owes those drug 940 about I think 95 approximately 95 billion naira cocaine they discovered in Lagos. Up to today, nobody knows who owns it, and there is no doubt. I have no doubt that it's not that Tinubu is the owner of that business.
Is that not the same one that they said that NDLEA couldn't even see it anymore, that it disappeared or something like that?
Okay, let me tell you what happened to it. Shortly after that was discovered, Tinubu visited Marwa. Marwa is the chairman of NDLEA or whatever. And then after that meeting,
no break that table.
After that their meeting, right? The following day or so, they show where they are burning those
exactly, something like that.
And then the question is, how many have they burned? Because this was a lot. I saw the picture. I still have the picture. The thing was a lot. So how much did they burn? How much did they keep back? Okay. How much did they burn? How much did they keep back? And then when he was selecting,
was it really what was burning? Do we know if what we saw burning is actually
exactly? That is another question. What was burnt? Do we really know exactly what was burnt? That is the thing. Okay. And then at the end of the day, shortly after that, when he was selecting the transition cabinet, the transition this thing, Marwa's daughter was among it, was one of them. And then there's rumor now that he's still going to leave Marwa to be in charge of that agency. So what else do we know? What else do we seek for? To find out, to know that this man, he's the owner. And who in Lagos can pull off such a scale, a huge amount of discovery, the greatest discovery by that agency in the history of Nigeria, of narcotic, and then the thing was swept under the carpet. Who can do that? Who can pull off that in Lagos? If not for a man like him that can push that thing into a Bunsen burner. Push it under the carpet.
I mentioned it earlier today. Something very, very serious that we all need to pay, serious attention to. Yesterday, the guy that gave him this template in Lagos, that worked it out for him in Lagos, is Wale Edun. He has appointed that same Wale Edun now as his special advisor for monetary policies. He is bringing that same template. That alphabetical template is bringing it to the federal level now.
You see?
And that is the guy. That is the guy. That's the guy. Please make no mistake about it. Eyes must be focused on that guy. And that guy has secured that role, that position, monetary policies. Because the guy is going to come out. The guy is going to come out with all the formulations of how taxes is going to be collected, monetary policies. Monetary policies that has to do with taxation, how taxes are going to be collected, and all the rest of it. This is the guy that is in charge. Foreign exchange policies and all the rest of it. It is what is Wale Edun. So that is the guy. So wait until that guy link up with the new finance minister.
Finance minister and then the CBN governor, these three, and see what is going to happen. I said these people will put Nigeria in their pocket again, just like they did to Lagos. Trust me, I know already it's going to happen. Okay, it's going to happen. They will devise a policy or a plan to put Nigeria in their pocket, just the same way he did in Lagos. But our people know they hear words.
I think they will
Well,
run into problems that they cannot handle, and that's this. In Lagos, they used one particular formula that worked well, which is tribalism. And it worked well because they were dealing with only the Yorubas.
uh,
In Abuja, even if you do whatever you're doing to sideline the Igbos, the
you can't
Hausas will
sideline
be
the Hausas.
very difficult to sideline like that.
Of
So I
course.
think they will run into serious problems there.
Mm-hmm.
But in fact, I can't wait for this court to come up with this.
Even Gandola has been very angry now that it appears there won't be anything for him in Tinubu's administration. You know they're already planning a scheme, planning some kind of disruptive move. If eventually they didn't get anything, Gandola with some few northern all these northern roads. Okay, and look
And
at somebody like that Gandola. Did anybody know how that his case went? The case of Gandola, the bribe was the Babariga Gandola.
Nothing will come out of that one. Just
No, let
forget
me tell
that
you
one.
how the case ended. Let me
You know
tell you
what
how
he
the
said.
case ended.
He has gone
Eh?
to court now to stop them from investigating the case again.
No,
He
the
went to
case,
court.
exactly the case. First of all, they went to Senate, right? The state Senate. Now, they arrested the guy that showed that video that thing, right?
The state assembly.
The state assembly exonerated him and said that it was not right, that it was against this thing for the guy to film him, that that it was an invasion of privacy or something. So they got the guy arrested and exonerated Gandola on the fact that it was not that they videoed him against his consent. Can you imagine? That was how they exonerated Gandola and rather arrested the guy and put him in jail for how many months? I think about 2 weeks, and then ask him to apologize to Gandola. Then the guy now apologized to Gandola before they now release him. That
where
was
did
how that case went.
where was the video made? In a public property or private property?
My dear, that is Nigeria for you. That is Nigeria for you.
No, because
How,
if it was
No,
videoed on
the video was made right in his office.
in
You
his
know, he has
office where he
one
was
in his
collecting the
office
dollar
where he was collecting the dollar. It was right in
and
his
putting in
office.
his babariga, his bribe.
uh,
I think it's 50. Is it $500 million? 5 million or so. Abi, that bribe. You know, it was a road construction, right? He inflated the price and had his cut. So it was his cut they came to give him in dollars. Okay, this is how they steal our money. Look at now. If it were to be an advanced country, that guy is supposed to be awarded, given an honor for exposing such an evil. But look at how Nigeria treated him, treated their own.
and,
And somebody
and,
will tell me Nigeria is going anywhere with this crop of leadership in Nigeria. They
and we
are
are
joking.
going to
Anybody that thinks Nigeria will see the light of day or development with these leaders we see,
and
that person must be dreaming.
we are going to hang with this thing for 6 months.
For another four
6 months.
years, God
It's not
forbid.
going past that. The court will have to do the right thing. But
They have to do the right thing, my brother, because
in,
we can't hang on with this thing for another 2-3 months.
yeah, meanwhile, we might as well start to get those Labour Party reps to start making their move. We need some serious proposals from them right now in the House. And
Mm-hmm.
certain things like some of these, like these electoral crimes, some of them don't even have any specified penalty.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even know whether this person will get time in prison or a slap on the wrist.
Mm-hmm.
So we need them to really beef up the Nigerian law. So they need to start it now before Peter comes in after the tribunal. I'm quite sure Peter Obi definitely is for it. He has already been saying that those are the things he will stand for.
If Peter Obi enter like this, the Senate, they will change all the officers. The Senate president, the speaker, all of them will step down because
Immediately.
they know it immediately they will step down and they know it now. They can't function.
Of course, because they are already bought over by this Agbado.
I mean, those LP reps and the few senators they have, they might as well start making that noise right now, so that at least the Senate and the House will be aware that it's coming. Because once Peter comes in, it will now be in a full steam ahead.
I know.
If Peter Obi come in, they go run. Many of them go run now. They know now. They know because it's going to separate. There are so many things the guy is going to do. He's going to give a step. He's going to make sure that the judiciary are independent. Take it out.
They will attempt an impeachment. Oh.
No. Impeachment is almost impossible in Nigerian constitution. It's almost impossible.
No, because they have the majority. They will attempt it.
No, you cannot. You cannot impeach. You cannot impeach a president in the Senate or combined house. It has to go through all the houses. It's in the constitution. You have it's almost impossible.
It has to go through the national, the Senate and the House.
Then it will go to the states too.
No. It won't go to the states.
Well, the point is that they tried impeachment on Peter.
It won't go to the state. It's just only the two chambers.
No, listen. You see, even anybody that will try anything with Peter Obi, that person is digging his political grave. That is just the truth. All Peter Obi need to do is to come out and tell Nigerians, see what they are trying to do. We will make sure we recall whoever that is doing that. Or make sure we can recall him, make sure the person next election, that will be his last. The pitch waiting.
They did that.
Except Peter Obi does something that is wrong, which I know he won't.
Oh yeah, Anambra, they did it. Remember when he got into the governorship in Anambra?
Yes, they did. They impeached him.
Yeah, he didn't have any party reps there too.
No party representative.
So it was
in the House,
PDP,
but yet he was successful.
Oh yeah, and they impeached him. That was the first thing they did. Successfully impeached him, and he went to court and told the court, they impeached me because they wanted
me to save money,
to spend this money on it, and I said no.
And the court brought him back.
Of course,
the judge brought him back.
I mean, the point is
nonsense.
This: do you
see when your hand?